Hey, how is everybody doing? I just wanted to get my thoughts out on Epic Universe while they're still fresh on my mind. So I'll just kind of go through the day on kind of what we did, our experience, and what I thought about, just our thoughts on going one day to Epic Universe. So we started off by getting there and we parked around, I'd say about 9:15, 9:20. Parking was fairly simple. There's no parking garage. It's just like Disney parking. It's just in a parking lot. We didn't buy any VIP experience, any fast passes. We just bought the tickets from the annual pass holder release. So they released the tickets to the public about 4 days before we were going to go, the Saturday, May 3rd, to Epic Universe. So, there's more tickets being sold that day. I know that was the first day sold out during the preview sales when they first went on sale, and that's when I grabbed them. So we went Saturday, expected larger crowds. Parking wasn't crazy. We were able to get in there. With annual pass, you get free parking. Parked, and you're going to have your first long walk. We parked in the end of the Monsters parking lot. Then you get to the sidewalk, and it's about a 5 to 7 minute walk to the front gate for security check-in. Security was good. It's kind of odd. You put everything in the bin just like regular Orlando Studios or Universal Studios Orlando. You put it into a bin, then you immediately do the ticket area. It's about 20 feet away. So that's kind of where it gets backed up a little bit. It's a facial recognition part of it. But anyway, we got in. We swapped lines in security just because our line was going slower and the rest were going faster. We went to the other line, so we waited probably a total to actually get past security and ticketing was maybe 15 minutes. So by that time, it's probably like 9:40, 9:45. We get in. They let you wander around the shops in the beginning area, the Other Worlds Mercantile, and then the Christmas store. And they have a Christmas store there that sells ornaments based on all the lands at Epic Universe. So we went through there, stayed in there for about 20 minutes, looking around at all the merch. By that time, it was like 10:10. And if you have early access to the park, if you're staying in a hotel, you can go to either side. You can go to the left, which is Nintendo Land, Super Nintendo Land, or to the right for Stardust Crusaders, or not Crusaders, Stardust Racers. And Isle of Berk is also to the left. We ended up going toward the Isle of Berk area and then changing our mind and going toward the Super Nintendo Land to start, I recommend getting there if you don't have early access. We waited there for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. We didn't get let in until 10:50. The line started moving, and that line is all going to pour into Super Nintendo Land, which we know that park's going to be popular. So we went there first just to kind of go in order, check out all the lands, explore first, and then we will ride rides and do whatever we wanted to do. Went there. That place is great. Recommend going there for sure. Went there, kind of got a lay of the land, mapped out what we wanted to do. Mario Kart Right away jumped up 2 hour wait. Minecart Madness and Donkey Kong Country, down. That ride was down until about 4 or 5 o'clock that afternoon. So we kind of just looked around there, went into the shops, looked around. We're gonna, oh, we're gonna. Anyway, we were going to just check everything out before we got in line. Wait times will get lower throughout the day. Crowds at the beginning in Nintendo Land was a little crazy. It mellowed out throughout the day. So we looked in there, headed over to Dark Universe, looked around, went to the restaurant with the windmill. One where the windmill catches on fire, I think every 20 minutes or something like that. The Burning Blade Tavern. We got the garlic steak, which is shaped like a steak, that you shove in the heart of a vampire. It was almost like a garlic knot. I think that was $11.99. It's good. The only issue was we did get a seat inside the tavern area, which is cool. They had someone in there interacting with you. He was a monster hunter, and you get to see all the decorations in there, the heads on the wall from the monster hunters, which was neat and all, but they only served the alcohol inside there, I believe. And so I had to go outside to the mobile order line once my app said that my food was ready after I checked in. And the line went all the way to the entrance outside. I waited in that line maybe about 20 minutes longer to finally get up. Everyone there was for mobile order and was for pickup. I don't know if they were ordering stuff at the window because nothing was really advertised that I had seen. There was a cast member out there saying what it was, but I don't think I seen a sign saying this was a mobile order pickup. Got that, ate that. It was great. It was amazing. Definitely recommend it. Went looking around. I think Monsters Unchained or Unleashed was the one in Frankenstein Manor. That one was down. It was down all morning. Curse of the Werewolf was running. We got to see The Invisible Man. We had a storyteller come out with like a violin, and she told a story about the well that's in the center of the Dark Universe land, and that was very interesting. She was very interactive. So we leave there. We head to the Harry Potter land, which is Paris in 1940s, based off Fantastic Beasts. You walk in there, this place is huge. The buildings are huge. It's amazing. The only thing is, I didn't personally feel like, I'm in the wizarding world. You see everything around. It's just like you have to look in the windows. It's very hard to distinguish which stores were actually stores and which stores were just displays. It was weird. You had a few. The wand store was just like overly crowded. You couldn't even move around there. So we popped in, popped right back out. Didn't get to really look at anything in there. We did watch the show there in the tent, and I definitely recommend at least once to watch it. They do some crazy stuff in there, and it's like watching real magic. Not saying magic isn't real, but it's some cool acts in there. Definitely recommend if you want to see some giant animatronics. That show was cool. Never did at one point get a virtual queue for Battle at the Ministry. Tried at all the times. Didn't get one. They were turning people away to actually look in the queue. I don't know. So we just kind of gave up on that. Next, we went to Isle of Burke after exploring Paris. Isle of Burke is very immersive. It's probably one of the best detailed lands that they have there, besides like Super Nintendo World and Dark Universe. Walked around there. There's dragons everywhere. We rode Fire Drill, the one where you sit in a boat and you spray water at targets. We rode that twice because it was a hot day. We wanted to cool off. That's such a fun ride to do. Definitely recommend that. If you want to get soaked, you want to spray the blue targets, just saying. We intentionally sprayed every blue target we could. Walked around there. We didn't get on any of the coasters there. I know they were down for a little bit. Walked around there. Then went around Celestial Park. We rode the carousel. That's pretty cool. It seems longer when you're watching it. Once you get on, it's a little bit short. I kind of felt. It's a neat experience. Right at once. It was like a 15-minute wait. We waited like 10 minutes. And so after exploring, we said, okay, it's time to, get some rides in. I think the first ride we did was the carousel. No, it was the Fire Drill. Fire Drill. The first ride we rode was a carousel. Then we rode Fire Drill. And then we said, okay, you know what? Time to go eat somewhere. And let's pick a restaurant. Why not Toadstool Cafe? This place is super cool. You walk into the giant mushroom. You see, all the menu items, and you see the toads running around outside. You see them in the kitchen cooking. The chairs, have mushrooms on top of it. You see the warp pipes on top, like as if they drop it from the warp pipes. And you see all the items you can get, like from the games, the stars and stuff. And then you see like Bowser come through, the clouds get dark, the lights flicker, and he's shooting bullet bills everywhere, and the toads are running around and all frantic. And Mario shows up every now and then on the screens. It's pretty cool. So that's kind of where it stopped. We got the Luigi burger and the Mario burger and the kids meal. The kids meal is worth it. I think it was like $7.99 for, it was a burger, fries, corn on the cob, broccoli, and a chocolate coin cookie that came in a little question block. Super cool. Then the Luigi burger, which was a chicken burger with like spinach and bell pepper. And we didn't get like there's like a pesto on there. We didn't get that on there. I don't know why it tasted like grass. You got a piece of chicken, it tasted like grass. I don't know. It tasted like grass from all of us who tried it. And then the Mario burger, we didn't get the mushrooms on it, but it was just a basic burger. We've all eaten the like frozen burgers with ketchup. That's all it was. Both those came with fries, and then we had a refillable Coca-Cola Freestyle mug or cup that we would refill, and they have that in there as well. Yeah, the food wasn't great. After that, we spent for the kids' meal and the two burgers, it was about $50, and we didn't want to try the dessert because the peach cake was like $23. And if the food wasn't good, how could I trust the dessert? And one of the things about the burger was that it came cold. Yeah, I understand it's theme park food. Yeah, I don't have high expectations for theme park food, but some places can be good. Some places can be very good. I mean, there's a lot of videos that I've made of eating at restaurants at theme parks that blow us away. The food was, comes out actually hot. Um, yeah, it was but we don't say anything. We just kind of eat it. But so from there, see, Mario Kart went down to like 45 minutes. It was at 60 minutes when we got out, and then went to, yeah, I guess it was about 60 minutes. We get in line. It only takes us like 45 minutes to get to the end. I really like that queue inside Bowser's Castle. You walk up, you see the statue, you go through kind of his personal library, and then into his throne room, then into the factory where they make bomb-ombs, and then the Mecha Koopa. So cool. And then the pre-show, in the pre-show room with all the suits and stuff. Amazing. I really enjoyed that ride. It was so fun. I actually got top score of the hour. Because yeah, it's kind of like Toy Story Mania. You got top score of the day, top score of the hour, top score of this car. Um, yeah, it's fun. I enjoyed it. I would ride it again if the wait times were lower. I think once we got out, it was back up to 90 minutes, something like that. But it's really weird because you put on like that Mario hat with like when you put on a hard hat, has the adjustable strap in the back, and then the visor is connected to the card itself. So when you pull down the lap bar, you put the visor up, and it's like a magnet that you put up to your eyes and just adjust it so that you can see well. You aim with by looking around, and it has buttons on the steering wheel that you can shoot the shells, and then it tells you where to turn. That was cool. I like that ride. From there, we were like, you know what? Minecart Madness showed up, working again, and might as well while we're here. We only bought one day just to see what it was like on preview days before the park actually opens, and then the good luck with wait times. We went to Minecart Madness. It said 105 when we walked up. We waited about an hour and a half, 90 minutes. I mean, cut out 15 minutes from what it said, whatever. That ride was good. I was surprised. I liked it. The queue, it's not as interactive, or you can't sit there and search for little details like you can in the Mario Kart ride. The queue is very boring. You got two interactive elements to make some banana show up on the ceiling with LED lights, but it only works if one person uses their interactive watch on one side of the statue, then a little bit farther in the queue, someone else has to use it on the other side, and you'll hear like drum prompts. Once both sides are activated, then the banana shows up on the ceiling, and that is it. I mean, you got Cranky Kong later on, and then that is it. There's no other thing in there to keep you kind of occupied while you go through or see, and you're like, oh, that's a cool Easter egg. Yeah, I mean, I saw one Easter egg, and it was like Pikmin in the painting, and during like the original Donkey Kong game. I mean, it was neat, but there was nothing else to look at. After that, we split off. When we split off, I went to go try out Monsters Unleashed, Monsters Unchained, using the single rider line, which it said, I think, 45 to 55 minutes a standby. So single rider, I went through the express line. Instead of going through the queue as single rider, you completely skip that. So if you don't mind skipping all of the queue, go single rider. They turn you away, and you have your own single rider lockers. It's just like all the lockers cut into a third, and put everything in there, and then you go up some stairs, and then you're right there. You pass by Dracula's like coffin, but it's behind bars, so you can't really see it unless you're in the actual queue. Got on. That ride is amazing. Definitely worth it. Going on that ride. I love that ride. It's great. Everything on there was working. It was amazing. When you get off, though, if you do go on single rider, you will pass the set of lockers when you're exiting. Go down to the gift shop, and then near the counter where you check out, you'll see the sign that says single rider lockers. Go there and you just use your facial recognition again to open your locker, which I had no problems with. I had no issues. Even though it was dark, your picture shows up like dark on there, but it'll still recognize it. I didn't have any issues. So you do have to, they make you put everything in a locker. It's not like they have metal detectors or anything, but you do have to put everything in a locker. You can't be holding anything because they'll make you go put it in a locker. And then I was like, you know what? I'm here. Why not go ride Curse of the Werewolf? When I did walk up, he said there was no single rider line. So the line was only 20 minutes. When I walked up, the ride must have been down because it just came back up. Everyone was cheering that they said it just came back up. I waited maybe 10 minutes to get on. And that's a fun ride. It's pretty quick. You spin around. It's fun. I liked it. I was amazed by the 2 Dark Universe rides. And that was later in the day. And then walking by Frankenstein Manor again for Monsters Unleashed or Unchained. Why I keep mixing those up, I don't know. Was only 15 minute standby. So, I mean, later in the day is when the queues kind of drop. After that, we met back up. They started closing the lands around 9:15, 9:30. Seems like Super Nintendo Land was the first one that they started closing the doors to the portal. And not letting anyone in. We were able to go into Dark Universe, and they still had a bunch of people walking around. You could walk around, and they weren't letting anyone on the rides, but you can still walk around and take pictures while there's no crowds. We went to Paris again and was able to walk around. Like I said, nobody there. Kind of look around at night, and it's great looking at night. Went to... Oh, we couldn't go to Eilberg. We decided to look around the Helios Hotel. That looks great at night. Walk around the park. I don't think we left until about 10 o'clock. They didn't do any sweeps or anything. They just kind of closed off the portals with those doors. When we were leaving, I believe Paris, the Harry Potter area, was still open. They weren't closing it off. Isle of Berk was closed. Nintendo Land was closed. Dark Universe looked like they started closing it. But yeah, left, and the walk back. Like I said, it's get ready for a walk in and a walk back, all the way back to the end of the Monsters parking lot, which isn't too far. It doesn't seem like it. That was rough. There's a lot of hills and a lot of stairs that we walked on. And especially Nintendo Land, there's stairs everywhere. And yeah, legs were hurting that day. And we did about 21,000 steps that day, and that's about our usual at like Disney or Universal Studios, and feel fine afterwards. But here was just all the stairs, I think, that killed me. I mean, you don't have to take the stairs. There's elevators. You take the escalator up into Nintendo Land through the warp pipe, and you know there's stairs down into the lower level, and then stairs back up to the upper level. There's an exit on the lower level, so you don't have to walk back up to get out. There's exits on both sides or both levels. Yeah, so that was kind of our day at Epic. It's very hot there. Say that. It's very hot. There's really no shade. Best way to cool off, go to Fire Drill in Isle of Burke. I think it was a 15-minute wait the first time, and then we went right back on, and it was like a 20-minute wait. Yeah, so that was our day at Epic Universe, and my thoughts. Final thought here. I wasn't as impressed as much as I would have been or liked to have been for the Harry Potter area. If I had to rank the parks, I would rank it probably Super Nintendo World, then Dark Universe, then Isle of Burke, and then the Paris 1940. Isle of Burke and Paris probably the same. I don't know if I could actually put one in a fourth place spot. I didn't get anything paid for. I paid for everything myself. Nothing was sponsored, obviously. I mean, I got a good, 50 of you guys that watch it, my videos, and I really appreciate that. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And please like this video of just a normal guy who went to Epic Universe to check it out before it actually opens. Thank you again.